So can you just, tell us a little bit about what it's like to go from being a director to television writing? Because you've said to me in the past that you find that really aided your transition.
Well, I think directing in general, which...
because you directed live theater, and then you directed film.
Right.
Is that right? Mm-hmm.
I directed live theater first, of course, and then when I started writing screenplays, I had never considered it, but started directing film, my own independent films, because, well, it just, directing has always been something it's my second passion. It's something I love. But I think that it's absolutely aided with television writing, because the difference is when you're a television writer, you have a very close relationship with the actors. You have a very close relationship with everyone on the set. And so on film, a writer is not involved in those areas at all. The writer goes off in their own and writes the script and isn't even allowed on the set for the most part. And I also think that it shows in my work the experience of directing actors. When I write a character, I know what will and will not work. From the basics of blocking to what won't play, for example. We use this term a lot in the writer's room, what plays and what doesn't. For example, you can't write, she thinks that he might do something. You can't play that. So you have to say, she looks as though she's suspicious, or something like that. You can never use the word think. So, I mean, it has helped directing-wise to consider all of that.
But also you have a really close relationship to your actors, more so in television than you do in film. Is that right?
Absolutely. The writers on a television show, when you create an original series, you are everything. You're the first director on the set, because on the scene, because you are casting it, you are deciding everything. You are hiring the director, to navigate through the technical side of it. But what I've heard as far as a relationship between writers and actors, it reminded me of something that I've heard more than once by some of the best writers in the business. I went to an Emmy panel, the Emmy Awards, at the Writers Guild here in LA, and it was the top writers from shows like The Simpsons and Lost and Mad Men and all of these shows that are so incredible. And almost every single one of them said, if you're writing comedy, you should do stand-up at least once in your life.
Yeah.
If you're writing drama, you should take an acting class at least once in your life, because you can't possibly you have to think like an act. You have to think like a character, and who learns that better than an actor? So you can't just sit and create characters if you don't know the process of doing that, And
what is the process then in television writing with involving actors? When do the actors come in to play, or how is it that they, serve the writers and vice versa? Right.
Well, usually it's later. It's when they've got a solid draft that they need to do a table read through. They can still do revisions after a table read, because you know exactly what happens. Something that seems like it plays when it's on its feet, it doesn't play. It's not good, or it doesn't come out the right way. So of course you do revisions. But I think with the Groupie, what's been interesting is to actually become inspired by the actor. It's not necessarily like the newest way of doing it. There's quite a few actors who have been in the development process. Look at Lisa Kudrow, for example, who works very closely with Don Roos when they when they work. They create and evolve. The same thing with her show, The Comeback, with Michael Patrick King from Sex and the City, the writer on Sex and the City. She envisioned this character, and they just sort of, fed off of each other that way. And I think that's incredible. I think that's great. And early conversations with you and your screen test, has helped sort of breathe life into Sherry and helped us sort of flesh her out and figure out who she is, and absolutely the greatest tool for a writer is to have a face. And so oftentimes in a writing room, people will say, well, we envision Gwyneth Paltrow playing this character. Mm-hmm. Whether or not they'll get Gwyneth Paltrow, it helps to put a face to the character.
Right.
Because they just become more three-dimensional, more alive.
Well, I'm glad you all thought of me.
Of course, you're my favorite actor.
And didn't let the distance be an issue. Although it could become an issue, I don't know. We'll see.
I cannot say that we don't still have our skeptics, because we do. That is a great distance, and it's what can we get done in the amount of time allotted.
Yes.
What I tell all of those people, well, not all of, there's just everyone is going, how are you going to pull this off? But you know what I say? I say, first and foremost, this is an experiment, and you've got to take chances, and you gotta play. You got to get out there and try things, and we'll see what happens. But I also think it's a challenge for us to get our job done before you get here and be prepared. So I work best on deadlines. I don't know about the rest of them.
Yeah.
We'll have something to shoot. I don't. Yeah, deadline.
Oh, I'm eager to do some readings for the group as well. So we'll have to set that up, and then I'll have to somehow record it. Not sure how that's going to work out, but we'll figure it out. I could always.
What we're doing Saturday.
Yeah.
This Saturday is our writers' room. And we are meeting we have you have the first draft of the script in your hands. I sent it to you. We are meeting to do what's called punching up the humor. And so we're going to go line by line and get the most bang for our buck. We're going to make every single line funny. So it's going to be funny, 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 funny. In sitcoms where they have a half hour, they have time to go set up, payoff, set up, payoff. They can do their jokes that way. They can set up a joke 4 lines before and then have the payoff come 4 lines later. We don't have that time. We're doing a 4-minute episode series, and so we have to do joke. So it's a challenge.
Great.
And I'm excited.
Great. Well, thank you very much.